As a mom of 2 kids, as a working mom, as a wife, a few years ago, my life was completely drowning me. I was suffering big time from constant overwhelm and anxiety, and I was not happy. I got to the point where even making little daily decisions felt like such a monumental task. I couldn't think about what was for dinner. I couldn't plan meals. I couldn't even listen to my kids when they were telling me about their day because my mind was so fried from constantly being under stress. I was so impatient with my kids. I would snap at them all the time, and I wouldn't want to spend time with them because I mentally and emotionally couldn't handle it because work ruled my life, anxiety ruled my life, my to-do list ruled my life, and I felt like I had no control over it. So I found myself looking at my life and being like, wow, I am not happy. I am not the mother that I want to be. I am not the wife that I want to be. And if I don't do something about it, my life isn't going to change. This path is only going to continue. And I realized that that was not what I wanted for my life, and that is not what I wanted for my family, and that I did not want that to define my life going forward. But change takes time, and it is not an overnight thing. So the first thing I had to do was sit down and look at what did I want my life to look like. If this is what it looked like today, what did I actually want it to look like? And I realized that for me, I wanted it to be a simple and intentional life filled with joy and laughter and being present and being in the moment and not being drowned out by anxiety or by things. And so for me, one of the first and very practical and actionable things that I did was I started to declutter and simplify my life. So I started with a drawer. I started with a closet. I started with just tackling one area at a time to just get rid of and purge all of these things that I felt like were just suffocating me. Because instead of spending my weekend playing with my kids or enjoying time with my husband or doing something fun like reading or going to coffee with a friend, I was spending my weekend doing chores and cleaning and running errands, and I was mad about it. And so I was like, what do I need to do so that this is not how I spend my time? And so that first step was I'm going to get rid of as much stuff as I can, because if I don't have a lot of stuff, then that means that there is less time that I am spending maintaining it. There is less energy, there is less money that I am spending in dealing with that. And so I went through closets and drawers and clothes and everything that I could to be like, do I need this? If this is costing me time and energy and money, and it is not serving this overall purpose and goal that I want for my life, I do not need it. And so this did not happen overnight. This took months as far as just paring down. And there was a journey of I'd pare down and then deal with that for a little bit and then maybe even pare down a little more. And I was looking at every area of my life. I'm like, how can I simplify this? How can I simplify my wardrobe? How can I simplify my meal planning? How can I simplify my grocery shopping? How can I simplify my laundry? And the truth is how you simplify is you have less and less and less. It's simpler and simpler. There are less options, less choices, less decisions. So clothes went from a variety of different clothes to specific colors, specific styles. And that made it easier for me to choose what to wear in the morning. It made it easier for me to wash and maintain it. I did that for me and I did that for my kids. With laundry, it was the same thing. When they have less clothes, then there's less laundry that you have to wash. And through this process of little by little by little of one, not only decluttering and simplifying, but then also finding a system that worked for it so that it really did free up my time. Because my time, I do not get this back. I do not get this time with my kids back. I do not get these days back. I do not get this life back. And to me, that is a heavy, heavy thought to carry. And it's something that we should be very intentional about, and we should be very aware of, is what are we giving up our time to? Because by saying yes to too many things, we're saying no to some of the most important things. And everything that we say yes or we say no to, we're giving our time and our resources and our energy to something. So what is it that we're giving it to? And is it that what we want to be giving it to? So by being able to free up all of this stuff, now, years later, my weekends are structured so that my weekends are for fun. My weekends are for rest. My weekends are for freedom. My weekends are for baking and coffee dates and naps and snuggling and games and time with my kids and time outside. My weekends are not for chores. And I've gotten to a point where even in the middle of the week, man, there's not a lot of time that I'm spending cleaning. There's not a lot of time that I'm spending doing chores or picking up, because I don't need to, because there's systems in place that work. There's not a lot of inventory that I have to maintain. There's not a lot of time I'm spending on making those decisions. And that has fundamentally changed my life. But it did not happen overnight. It did not happen without intentionality. But I knew that if I kept going down that path that I was on, that I was going to drown in it and my family was going to fall apart, and that was not worth it to me.